to Friday Night. I'm your host, Anthony Cross. We have an amazing show for you tonight, but first we begin with a video that's been making the rounds this week on the internet titled Plandemic, a film about the global plan to take control of our lives, liberty and health and freedom, or something to that effect. It's been removed from YouTube so many times and re-uploaded, it's hard to really know what the damn thing was supposed to be called or where it really came from. But for all intents and purposes, this whole genre is called the Plandemic conspiracy theory. So here's the deal. If anyone were to do a little bit of digging into this, even the most basic results would yield you that this is some textbook tinfoil hattery. All of which, of course, is supported by big tinfoil. Follow the money, folks. Anyway, we could quite happily do a line-by-line breakdown of this video, but first and foremost, it would be a massive waste of time. Instead, we're going to be talking to Anthony Aris, and he'll be playing some music, and it would just seem so disingenuous to suddenly impose a long-form think piece onto our audience. So instead, before we head into all of the good stuff, I wanted to present just 3 short main points about the video and potentially give something to those who have shared it, maybe to think about. Number 1, the pandemic we are in currently is completely real. Just in case any healthcare folks might be listening, thinking that they might be losing their minds, shout out to them. There are volumes of evidence to support the legitimacy of this crisis. Viruses happen organically all the time. Nasty ones happen every once in a while, and the really nasty ones happen every 100 years or so. The main reason we know anything about viruses and how to combat them is because we have years of documented peer-reviewed studies that tell us how to. Number 2, stop hurting people. This video is offensive. It's offensive to the scientists actively working around the clock to find treatments, vaccines, new tests, and data to better understand this clear global threat. It's offensive to nurses and healthcare workers working overtime to treat the sick. And it's offensive to anyone who's already lost somebody to COVID. It's easy after listening to some podcasts to think of yourself as an expert. I'm glad you did your research by letting YouTube's algorithm make a playlist for you. But scientists and medical professionals have dedicated years and years of their lives to actual research. And we need this expertise now more than ever. Number 3, be angry, but be angry for the right reasons. I'm angry. Do you think I relish the idea of staying inside day in, day out, not seeing my family, my friends, my loved ones? I miss 20th Street Cafe and the market at Larimer Square in Denver, but here's the secret. I stay home because I care for someone who isn't me, my community, my neighbors, and all of the people I would interact with every day. If you're going to be angry and suspect, then there are plenty of appropriate places to put that anger and suspicion. We have a federal government working very hard to spin the biggest economic and humanitarian disaster in modern history to boldly claim that they have succeeded, trying to soften the blow and satiate the masses as numbers are projected to rise. While businesses and people struggle, the government handed us a check for $1,200 and told us to get back to work. No relief for rent or bills or any of that. If you want to be angry, you're looking in the wrong direction. What about the minority communities that through years of systemic racism are at a much higher risk factor for COVID-19? Or the virus ravaging Native American community reservations? No outrage on their behalf? Nothing? Now look, I understand the insatiable desire to be in the know. It's rooted in uncertainty, and realistically, at this point, there's a lot of it going around. When are live events coming back? When can I see my family and my friends again? When are things going back to normal? Will things ever go back to normal? Massive question mark looms on the horizon, and now you are in the same rudderless ship as the rest of us, drifting through all the same unknownness of this pandemic. And it's scary. It's hard to trust when we've been lied to before, but we have to trust those who are consistent and rooted in research and hard facts. Certainly, a convenient conspiracy theory that wraps everything up very neatly for someone is a welcome end to the wild uncertainty and fear gripping the country right now. But rarely life is this simple. This is a complex problem, and the solutions are doubly so. We are, at this point, a year away from a vaccine, and treatments remain just hopeful for now. This virus is absolutely going to kill a lot of people in our lifetime, and it already has. In times like this, we need to take care of each other. For example, my elderly neighbors have been making masks night and day and sending them to people who can't afford PPE. I've seen the young and the old work together to try and fight through this with gumption, innovation, and sheer willpower. We need bright minds right now more than ever not to stoke the flames of conspiratorial fear-mongering, not of apathetic passivity, but those of empathy and understanding. Because without that, what are we really fighting for? So, with that out of the way, I think it's a perfect time to bring out our musical guest. Anthony, are you there?
I am, Anthony. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, what are some of the songs you're going to play for us?
I'm gonna start this set off. A song called "Walking in the Rain." It's about just continual growth and the frustrations and just that involves, and it's tough. So, yeah, this one's about gardens burning down and trying to sleep in the soil and doing whatever you can.
Jesus. Well,
Yeah.
take it away. Let's give it a listen.
All right, sounds good. I've been walking in the rain, and I've been sleeping in the garden. And I try anything if it helps me grow. The sun seems to walk me alone. And I've been thinking way too much about this bottle in my hand. Yeah. And I've been claiming to know things about love that I clearly don't understand. So I make a little money and I pay off some debts. Take a chance on me, honey, and we will figure out the rest. If I could walk on the water, oh, ravens brought me my bread, wouldn't make me any stronger because faith never made anyone a man. Now it's time that I've been sleeping in my bed made of soil, desperately trying to grow insane. The other options growing old. And I kinda want you to go home. There's a lot of shit I need to do. But if you want to stay all night, honey, I guess that's fine too. But I'm not trying to break my heart. I've been down that road before. But I'm just trying to stay alive for another hour or so. I'm having the same nightmare that my garden's burning down. So what's the point in growing anything if I can't keep you around? Maybe I'm better off in the ground.
That was amazing. That was fantastic, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
thank you. Thank you
Okay,
very
so
much.
what was there
Oh,
was there
absolutely.
like one sort of like experience that brought this one on, or like how did this thing come about?
I'd say this song mostly came about in a transition period,
Oh yeah.
for sure. Definitely. I mean, obviously, I would say, but I'm just pulling inspiration from, I don't know, stupid mistakes I've made in the past that you don't want to repeat.
Sure.
Claiming to know things about love. Claiming to know all these things, and that's how you live your life without actually. You think you know more than you know, I think, is really what this one comes down to.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and the struggle is real.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
limits of your
So
own sort of, you know, mind and capacity and comprehension and whatnot, you know.
right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
and what transition period are you talking about? Like, because I know you just moved back to Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah. This one. This was a couple. I think I started writing this song. Man, it would have been. Man, actually about a year ago. Actually about a year ago. Yeah, I was in a relationship that was kind of ending. And this was that you could feel those things moving. And I didn't want it to, and I, trying that struggle. It's like, well, what is it in me that I need to really actually figure out? So
Right, right. So it's like a little bit of contextualization to, trying to like make sense of your own thing that you're going through.
right, right, and that, yeah, and that nothing works. What might work for you doesn't work for anyone else, and what works for other people doesn't work for you.
Yeah, that's kind of like, when you're in a breakup, that's like the last thing that you want to hear is somebody telling you what worked for them that probably won't work for you. You know what I mean? A lot of people in
Right.
moments of crisis, like, or transition rather, like come out with their own sort of like playbook of advice that's, like, okay, yeah. You're
Yeah.
going to get conflicting
Yeah.
opinions and all kinds of different stuff. So, yeah.
Totally. And yeah, and I mean, and I'm the biggest fan of what's personal is personal. I
Sure.
mean, you're our show and personal as in not like sharing too much information, but no, you can only help yourself. No one else
Right.
can help you if you want to achieve these things that, are the reason for the breakup. Maybe, or the reason for losing your job, or the reason for, I don't know, whatever it is. It starts from being, your roots. You have to grow.
Right.
And so
Absolutely.
you got to figure out how to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And on your own sort of thing.
right. And if that takes stepping away from a relationship or a job or a way of life or something like that, that's what it takes. I mean, drinking too much, whatever you want, you can, whatever, yeah, whatever you want to put behind, you can. And
Right.
you got to figure out how to. And it takes time. It's a process,
Right.
you know.
Wow. Amazing. Well, and so what's the next song that you've got coming up?
This next one is called "Sell Your Soul,"
Amazing. Well,
and
take it away. We'll try and
yeah,
contextualize it afterward. I'm curious.
yeah, that helps me because it reminds me of. I know the songs are about, but you
Sure.
go through the lyrics and they're fresh in your mind.
Yeah, and then you're like,
Yeah,
oh right, yes, those that.
yeah,
Yep. So well,
right. I
perfect.
didn't say that at the beginning of the song exactly. All right, here we go. I used to take walks with my lovers. And those roads long gone. And I used to write songs of forgiveness. These days, no one does me wrong. And I used to feel so helpless. And that's back when I was safe. Now I find comfort in knowing that tomorrow's another day. So if you think your heart's grown cold, it's never too late to sell your soul. And I used to dream quiet by the bottle. And I would argue with the wall. And I used to believe in devotion. But that's back before I could speak at all. And I used to have my hero. And I look at them with longing eyes. Now I'm drowning in the shallows. And I've got nowhere else to hide. So if you think your heart's growing cold, it's never too late to sell your soul. So make time for the ones that you love. Let them know that you're not giving up.
Wow, man, that was amazing. There's a couple of things that stood out there. It kind of has this like ballady thing going on, like a lot of longing, a lot of sorrowness to it. It's you know, there's a lot there to unpack.
Yeah, it's a theme for sure. Yeah, written around the same time, I suppose you could say, as that "Walking in the Rain" song. But yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you.
I always love the what are the first two chords? So you start on a what is the very first chord in that?
Man, it's just a D.
Yeah, D2. Is that
Yeah, then I'll go to the minor 5. Yeah.
Which is always that's always like such a it's longing and wistful and has this like quality.
Totally.
To it, you know, like there's something about, you know, major 1 minor 5 that always brings to mind this like open desert road or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if you
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely feel that. I definitely can feel just the what it draws out of you emotionally. You know, and just I mean, music is amazing and songs are incredible, and just the fact that you can put two chords together and get that kind of feeling without even knowing what the subject of the song is or anything like that. It's your own, your own interpretation.
Yeah, and there's a certain level, you know, it's not really homage because it's not, you know, like you're doing your own thing. But yeah, there's that like especially the strumming pattern, the ching chicka chicka ching kind of thing you're doing. Man, I'm struggling to remember who that calls. I don't know. Was there anybody like right out of the top of your head that you could call as far as an influence is concerned for that?
I originally
like there's somebody
totally.
in mind.
It's the Eddie Vedder. Is that it might be who you're thinking of, because he has that one song on that Into the Wild, which I didn't realize because I didn't hear that influence. My influence on this song, as far as just the open strumming, is to carry. It's how it carries through. Is Joe Pug, songwriter I like, and that was actually the first song I wrote on this guitar, because it was the first chord I strummed, and I was like, oh, I just want to play this over and over and over again. And then so that's how that came about. But I didn't. No one told me.
What are you actually playing right now, though?
So this is my baby. It's a 1970s Rochester, Rhode Island Guild. Guitar. Yeah. It is. I love it. Yeah, I've been playing Guilds for a little while. This is my second one. They just sound great, but But yeah, no one told me that what that song sounded like until we were in the studio recording it. And they're like, "Oh, that's like Eddie Vedder." I was like, "Who?" And he's like, "This song." And I was like, "Oh, damn it. I guess, yeah, you're right. Shoot. Oh, well."
Yeah. Oh well.
I love how that happens. Right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
there is a little bit of that coming to mind, but I'll probably think of it after this is over,
Yeah.
because that's how
Yeah.
this works. But there's some other. It's just drawing to mind kind of like a open expanse, longing, desert roady kind of thing. And but it's cool that you're creating, have managed to create a feeling, and it's not just major 1, minor 5 kind of things. The whole
Right.
package.
Right. Right.
So what's the last song you're gonna play for us?
Last song we're gonna do. This one's called Eden.
Amazing.
Yeah. So this one. Well, this one I wrote when times were good.
So we had
turbulent
times and one now that's like
yes, the hopeful one. Yes, this one is to hopefully leave the audience, with a little bit of gusto. So, but, this one's called Eden. And
perfect.
And there's some literary references.
Oh.
There's some literary references in here. So if you've never read East of Eden by Steinbeck or the Bible, then there's going to be some spoilers.
Okay. Well, I mean.
All right. How did Moses know that the serpent was the devil, not the fruit of Adam's growing? That Eve took that fateful night. So what if she did take a bite? Everyone makes a mistake their first try. It's too bad God thought it was such a crime. But Eden betrayed her. Eden, where love goes to be lost. Nakedness is way down to be clothed. Eden betrayed her. Eden, where there's no escape until you banish what God only knows. How does Steinbeck know paradise is not something you and I can hold? No matter how hard and long it's toil, there's no way to get ahead, 'cause there's someone always scheming, someone always wants you dead. Broken dreams are just a mountain storm. Eden betrayed him. Eden loves a gunshot. And children are born 'cause your wife's a whore. Eden betrayed him. Eden, there's no escape. Tragedy comes in a number of forms. Eden can be your home. If you don't need to run, you can find a love of your own. Now shines a lucky man like you. But I'll never find my home. No, I'll keep running. I work these hands to the bone and hope to find what works for you. Eden betrayed me. Eden, next step. And I'm always one step behind. Needed him, betrayed me. Needed, there's no escape. And there's a constant battle for my mind. But Eden, it's not where you're going. Eden, it's not where you've been. It's where you are right now. Eden, it's not where you're going. Eden, it's not where you've been. It's where you are right now. Eden, it's not where you're going. Eden, it's not where you've been. It's where you are right now. It's where you are right now.
Amazing, man. Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
So,
Appreciate that, Anthony.
That one was very, very hopeful.
Yeah, definitely more so. That one, that one's just about, I mean, yeah, Eden, where we are right now. And, I think that's appropriate for these times of we're inside. We're not going anywhere. We can't. But Eden is not at the grocery store. Eden is not, getting, I don't know, whatever. It's where you are. It's home,
Well,
I guess.
It's also, I took it when I listened to it just now again, because I'm familiar with that song a little bit.
Right, you put Rhodes on the record, yeah.
I'm kidding. I played a little keys on that record actually.
Yeah, you killed it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was a very fun song. To do. I will say though, I see it it's sort of transformed in meaning now, with the crisis the way that it is now. Because when we recorded that song, it kind of meant something different, times were good enough, it was compared to now.
Right.
And it's a thing now where it almost, as opposed to being something that is really present oriented, it struck me as something maybe to sort of strive for. You know what I mean? Something to get back to. If we all put in the work and do the things that we need to do, that maybe at some point we could be there again. And how nice would it be? And this is that nice warm sound and song to remind you of that.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and yeah, just because things are different than your ideal, or that you were living in your ideal and now things have changed, and obviously for the worse, that doesn't mean that things can't, I don't want to say go back to normal, but we find our Eden again. We continually find where it is.
Yeah, and it's a thing too where we can take and leave the parts that we liked and didn't like before. And we're about to be in a sort of reconstructionist period anyway. That's coming quick because everything is going crazy right now. So we can choose, to a degree, we can kind of maybe pick and choose what we want to see after this. So and stuff like that's motivating for a future tense, as opposed to just this is Eden right now, because it for a lot of people kind of isn't, but there's potential hope that it will be. It's hopeful. Yeah, that's fun.
Right, cool. Totally.
When did you write?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How old is that?
That's close to 2 years old, I would say.
Still sounds
2.5 years. Yeah, thank you. I picked it up and played it to myself the other day, and I was like, why haven't I been playing this whole pandemic? This is like making me feel good. And so I was glad to get it back in the in the set list and rehearsed a couple times. So.
Well, and I mean, I think
But yeah,
the thing is during the pandemic, people are looking for comfort. There's been a
hmm
lot of, indication that as far as like what people are listening to on Spotify, it's less so about the new stuff, but it's the stuff that they already have associations to, that's
right.
drawing them
Oh,
in right
totally. Yeah.
now.
Right.
And so like people are looking for that comfort food, that soul food. And your
Yeah.
so to speak, back catalog, but really the stuff that you're currently kind of working on and like
hmm
reworking and doing stuff with,
hmm
is I think perfectly suited for that to a degree, because
Huh.
you both have songs about
Thank you.
struggles and great periods of transition,
Right.
which is what we're in right now. And then also you have like
Right.
the
Right.
whole hopeful category, which is really cool,
hmm hmm
you know.
I have some fun songs too. I make jokes. Um, so
Yeah.
if you do pick up my new record, there are happy songs on it. Well, when it comes out, but
Where can we find? Is the new record out, or what's your release plan like? What do you
uh,
got?
that's a great question. How does anyone release a record these days?
Yeah.
I'm in the category of we finished tracking kind of
Mm,
right before everything
Went
got
crazy.
real,
Yeah.
which is great. But that puts you know, like there's no playbook for, putting out a record in a pandemic. And so
No.
all the, but so it's either, the people who had their releases scheduled, which, I love new music coming out right now. Fiona Apple, obviously. Let's see. American Aquarium just came out with another record. And,
Mm,
so
Childish
I don't know.
Gambino.
Yeah.
Mm.
I need to put that one on, but I don't know. We still got to mix and we still got to do all that kind of stuff. And I'm, working on the artwork. So it's a few months off, but,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but
Well,
whatever.
where can
It's,
people follow you right now? Like, do
see,
the plugging.
yeah, totally. So my name's Anthony Aris. I'm a songwriter from Fort Collins, Colorado. You can find me on Instagram, Anthony Aris Music, AnthonyArisMusic.com, and Facebook, Anthony Aris. If you have previously known me as Mahali, I have substituted my last name for my first two names. You can, I don't know. It's what I did. And I'm
You're
stoked
good.
on it.
You're
I think it's
Anthony
fun.
Harris now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so, but you can find, Eden's on a record, Favors EP that we put out. So you can find that under Mahali on Spotify and everything like that. So
Perfect.
yeah, YouTube and blah, blah. But
Well, from one Anthony to another, thanks again for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
from the less cool Anthony to the cooler Anthony. Thank you for having me.
Pusha. Get out of here. Get out of town. Get out of town. The less-
You stop it, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Do the thing. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. I appreciate you, Anthony. Have a great one.
So that wraps it up for this week. We hope you can join us next week at the same time, 9 p.m. We're going to try and be a little bit on time this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you soon.